Well, currently I'm a student. I'm studying at the Wiki School of Communication and Information. I actually majoring in journalism, but I have my fair bit of interest in films and film theory as well as production. Well, I guess it depends on the storyline, and it goes to show whether the storyline can make it onto film, and it will be whether it will be entertaining for someone to actually watch the film. I mean, a story is good as long as you read it, but it shouldn't be for personal satisfaction. When it goes onto film, it has to be something that entertains people. It is something that's supposed to enlighten people, and I think if it's able to serve that purpose, if the story is able to serve that purpose in the medium of film, it should belong in the medium of film. Well, I believe the substation is doing its fair bit for newcomers into the filmmaking scene and trying to put on their work. But of course, new filmmakers, I guess the problem with them is that they don't know where to go and how to put their films out there for people to watch, and it's quite sad because all over the world, actually, filmmaking, especially short filmmaking, is something that's becoming quite a trend in these days. And most of them make it onto YouTube, and maybe they get a couple of thousand hits, or some of them do quite well and get a few million hits actually. But that's it, and that's where they see their end and glory days. So that's kind of sad for the filmmaking business, especially short film, and there has to be a more thriving market, especially for short films. Feature films, yes, of course, there's always been a thriving market for it. The cinemas are willing to put in your films, and people are willing to watch feature-length films for a price. But for short films that may be slightly more artsy, or short films that want to say a message to the audience, it's not there yet. The market's not there for them yet, and it would be better if the market was more willing to take in more short films and see the merit in them as well. Well, I've had including Zone, I've like had two films so far, and the first one was actually something that I was looking forward to, in the sense that I wanted to enlighten my audience. It was something that I wanted to personally do for the audience that was watching my film. I guess the first film was to purely enlighten. It wasn't even much of an entertainment factor. It was more of an enlightening factor, because I played with the idea of reality, and what is real, and what is imagination, and what's fantasy. And when it came to the second film, it's also about what I wanted to do to the audience, but at this stage, I want to entertain the audience more. I want to, get them to smile, get them to laugh, look at the movie on the screen, and know that this was a movie that was made for them, to make them laugh, to make them smile, to go home with a happy feeling on their face. Well, I guess it's only justifiable to the subject matter if a writer writes what he knows he can write, and something that came from personal experience. It's something that it's true to me, especially because I can't imagine myself writing something without knowing what the subject matter is. But then again, there are many writers out there that do their own adequate research, and that's good for them as well, and that gives them plausible stories to put on film. But for me, I feel that it's only justifiable, and it's always best to write something that comes from the heart, and write something that will reach people because it has reached you personally. What drives my passion is basically an interest in making people feel entertained, making people happy. And I think that's something that I really wanted to do since I was young. I found ways and means of doing it, whether it be the stage, or through song, or through acting. And over the years, the medium has changed, but the purpose hasn't. I've always wanted to see people happy. I've always wanted to see people smile, and I feel the greatest joy in life is to see someone smile and know that you were the creator. You allowed for that smile to be there, and for that person to be happy for that one moment. And I feel that's the greatest joy, and I want to have that joy in my life, probably like with everything that I do. Well, it depends on the medium. It's a thriving market for some. It's not so much for others. I mean, if you look at it today, you have a good market for theatre performances. You have a good market for dance, dramas. But film, in that sense, is a trickier business, because feature films, as I said before, are really a good market, but not so much for short films. And even though short films are kind of the trend right now, the market hasn't really picked up on them yet. But other scenes, art scenes, are doing pretty well, and I think that maybe through collaborations with other artistic endeavors, film can actually have, or rather short films can actually have a better lifespan with the audience in Singapore. Well, actually, if you're trying to make something of a success of yourself, just try your best and look for something that you have an interest in and you have an experience in, and know what you do best, and stick with it and keep trying. Because at the end of the day, you have to put in that hard work and determination, and always never underestimate the need for planning and the need for a good timeline and a planned out schedule to actually put things in place. Because at the end of the day, a good plan will get you places. My dream has been something that's changing from time to time, but I would actually love to teach. I mean, I know some people say that, those who can do and those who can't teach, but I think I can do it, and therefore I shall teach it. So maybe one day I dream of getting my own school set up, an artistic school, whereby I teach speech and drama, filmmaking, so on and so forth. So that's kind of like my dream for that moment.